Well, I think we're just about there. Honestly, there's not much more I can do to make this go much better. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to gear up for PPE. Then I'm going to heat this cone mold just to make sure there's no moisture in it. Once it's warm enough, I'm going to give it a light coating with WD-40 for a release agent. Open and shut down the furnace. Pull the iron out of the crucible. Pull the crucible out of the furnace and then pour the crucible into the cone mold. And that's assuming everything goes well. So let's have a look and see what happens. Well, it went smoother than I thought, or at least as smooth as I was hoping it would. The only thing I see that's kind of an issue is my iron pieces don't seem to have been degraded at all. So I need to kind of see what comes out of the bottom of the smelt and see what I got. Well, let's see what we got. It certainly slipped out easy, and I forgot to bring a hammer, but that should work. So I'm looking at that. It's a very glassy slag, which it should not be, and obviously there's quite a bit of quartz that never broke down in there. Didn't break down at all. Now, I don't mind the quartz not breaking down as long as the galena left it. Let me knock the bottom piece apart a bit more. Well, I knocked that bottom piece off, and to be honest, I think, trying to get into the camera here, knocked that bottom pyramid off, and to be honest, I think it literally just shattered. There's no lead prill at the bottom at all. I've still got all these individual pieces of quartz, and if you look at this top surface, it's got a very metallic kind of look to it. Glittery silver, and I've got glittery silver here on the bottom as well. I do not know what to make of this. I'm gonna have to sit and think about this for a bit, maybe bust this up a little bit more. Worst case scenario, I can throw it back in and melt it down and see what I can get out of it, but it kind of ruins. I actually thought about plan B to get rid of some of this quartz, was to throw my sand gravel mix in with just a bunch of borax and literally just let the galena settle to the bottom. But from what I'm seeing here, that's probably not such a good plan. So let me rethink this one and see what happened. I've also got the the steel pieces here. And I don't know how well you can see on that. It's a little piece of rock from when I laid it down on the ground, but that there is grayish. Like that might be my lead galena there. It's a little blob there. But mostly this is that black slag. And looks like it's just become adhered to this. And never really did any it never really appears to have done anything to it. That's silvery. And that's just slag there. It almost looks like there might be just a fine coating of lead on that. Which tells me I completely missed somewhere. So I'm gonna put this all back together, give it a good think, and then come up with a plan B, C, D, E, F, whatever it takes. Okay, so I'm going to show you this mix, and you can see there it's kind of caked up on the sides. I had it too full. I mean, it was practically guaranteed boil over. It's still warm enough to make everything stick to the sides. I'm going to go ahead and put it back in the furnace real quick. What I've done is I've switched over to a slightly different mixture. I'm kind of convinced that the gravel portion that I used has so much quartz in it that it basically drowned out the ability of the soda ash to work, which is why I got that clear glassy slag, because all the soda ash was eat up, and why nothing happened with the sulfides, and I got no lead. So with that said, what I'm doing now is I'm going to run 20 ounces of the powder material, which I think will have much less quartz in it. Because I need some quartz, I ran 5 ounces of the 1/4 inch minus material. Then I gave it 20 ounces of soda ash and 5 ounces of borax with no flour. So I'm going to light it back up, and then once again I'm taking it up very slowly so it can boil out, but this time, because I overfilled a little bit, I'm going to stop once it stops boiling and add a small portion, let that boil out, add a small portion, let it boil out, just until I can get the pot back full again, because I'd like to do this whole thing in one charge. So clean up a bit of a mess here and get it relit, and we're going to go. I don't know if you can hear it or not, but I've got the flame is trying to travel back up the fire tube because I'm basically out of propane. So I'm not quite done with this smelt, but I don't have any choice. I got to shut her off and pour it. Well, that one was nowhere near the temperature it should have been. I really don't feel like it. The reaction was anywhere near where it should have been. It came out very lumpy. I don't see that it's done any work on my my iron bar. Worst case scenario, though, realistically, I'll let it cool, knock it out, crush it up, put it back in the thing with a fresh tank of propane, and burn it off. But that's tomorrow's problem.